The morning sun rose over Brighton Ridge, like a spotlight revealing a stage set for heartbreak. Adrian Callister, a self-made millionaire known for his iron fists in business and soft heart in charity, stepped out of his black sedan expecting to enter the warmth of the home he had built from years of sacrifice. Instead, he entered a nightmare. The alley behind his mansion, usually silent except for rustling leaves, held a sight he would never forget. His wife, Serena, curled on the cold pavement, her clothes torn, her hair matted, her face pale with exhaustion, trembling as if her soul were fighting to stay inside her body. Nothing in all his victories or defeats had prepared him for the sight of the woman he loved abandoned like she was nothing. If you believe kindness, compassion, and second chances still matter in our world, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Light of Kindness. These stories live because people like you keep the flame alive. Adrian dropped to his knees, the concrete scraping his tailored pants. He didn't care. His hands hovered over her before he gathered the strength to lift her gently. Serena's once bright hazel eyes flickered open only slightly, but her body remained limp as he carried her inside. For months he had been traveling abroad, establishing a new branch of his company, thinking he was working for their future. Each call Serena answered with warm reassurance, and each message she sent ended with, "Come home safe, I miss you." Nothing hinted that danger was creeping into her world as he pushed farther away into boardrooms and hotel suites. Now guilt washed over him like a tidal wave. How could he have been so far away while his wife was suffering here, at home, where he had promised she would never be alone? Inside the mansion, doctors and security arrived within minutes. Adrian pressed them for answers, pacing with a restlessness he didn't recognize in himself. Serena had bruises on her arms, signs of malnutrition, and marks that suggested she had been denied rest and care for days. As the medical team worked, Adrian felt the walls of the room closing in. Why was she outside? Why didn't the staff help her? Why had no one called him? Every question tightened the knot in his chest. When Serena finally woke, her voice came out soft, broken, as though fear still sat in her throat. She whispered that she hadn't left home willingly, that one of Adrian's own business rivals, a man named Hector Graythorne, had been secretly targeting Adrian for months. Adrian had ruined Hector's attempt at an illegal expansion project years ago, exposing the corruption publicly, costing Hector a fortune and tarnishing his reputation. Adrian had forgotten about him, but Hector clearly hadn't forgotten about Adrian. According to Serena, Hector's men had followed her for weeks, watching the house, waiting for Adrian to be overseas. Then one night, they broke in while the security team was distracted, drugged her, and took her away. They kept her hidden in an abandoned warehouse, forcing her to believe that Adrian had given up on her, that he had willingly let her suffer, that no one was coming. Weeks passed, and the couple slowly found their rhythm again. The mansion, once echoing with absence, now felt alive with renewed purpose. Adrian realized that true wealth didn't live in the walls of his home or the zeros in his accounts. It lived in the quiet moments, Serena smiling at breakfast, laughing at an old memory, or simply breathing peacefully beside him. He vowed never to let his ambition overshadow what mattered most. But the city had not forgotten what happened. One morning, the mayor invited Adrian and Serena to a community forum to speak about resilience and justice. At first, Serena declined, still afraid of crowds, but Adrian gently encouraged her, assuring her she wouldn't be alone. Eventually, Serena agreed, not because she wanted recognition, but because she wanted to help others who suffered in silence. When they arrived, the entire auditorium fell into a hush. Serena stepped forward, fragile yet powerful, and spoke honestly about her fears, her pain, and her journey. She didn't dramatize anything. She simply told the truth, and the truth resonated deeper than any performance ever could. Adrian watched her with pride swelling in his chest. She didn't just survive, she rose. After the event, dozens of people approached, thanking Serena for giving them courage. Some quietly shared their own struggles. Serena held their hands, offering comfort she once needed herself. Adrian saw hope in her eyes he hadn't seen in a long time, and it warmed him more than any success ever had. As the sun dipped behind the city skyline, Serena leaned her head on Adrian's shoulder, whispering that she felt lighter, stronger, ready to live again. Adrian wrapped his arm around her, grateful for the second chance neither of them had expected, but both desperately needed. If this story touched your heart or reminded you of the strength hidden inside every person, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Light of Kindness. Your support helps these real, emotional stories reach more people who need them. Special request. If you believe no one deserves to suffer alone and every life deserves kindness, drop a heart in the comments before you go. And with that, Adrian and Serena walked toward their car, their hands intertwined, stepping into a tomorrow built not on wealth, but on love, healing, and the unbreakable bond that had carried them through the darkest alley of their lives.